Hello, my name is Andy, and today we're going to be learning how to hit the whip. The whip is a very fun dance move. It's really easy to do, useful for a lot of situations like school dances, football games, parties, funerals, whatever. So to begin, we'll start in the anatomical position. Here I am from a frontal view. Now we need to move our brachial region, or our arm, like so. Make sure your olecranon region, or the back of your elbow, is pointed laterally in the transverse plane, that is, away from the midline of your body. Make sure your antebrachial region, or your forearm, is pointed mostly in the superior direction. It is also important to make sure that your digits, or fingers, and pollex, or thumbs, are clenched inwards towards your palmar. In other words, form a fist. Make sure that your palmar is faced medially towards your cephalic region, or your head. Now let's discuss your crural region, or your leg. In this case, we'll be discussing the crural region opposite that of the brachial region in which you lifted in step 1. In this case, you will need to raise your sural region, your calf, and your tarsal region, your ankle, superiorly. In other words, you need to lift your leg. To get a better look, let's look at the sagittal view from the left side. As you can see here, the femoral region, or the thigh, should be almost parallel to the transverse plane. The other patellar region, or the knee, that isn't on the crural region that you are lifting, should be bent for balance. Now we have transitioned to the post-whip position. As you can see, we are once again in frontal view. The first thing you may notice is that the plantar region, or the sole of the foot that was raised previously, has been moved inferiorly. In other words, your foot has been moved downwards to the ground. Now let's move to a sagittal view, once again, to get a closer look at what we call the post-whip position. Your brachial region should be extended in the anterior direction in the sagittal plane. In other words, it should be pointed forwards. Your palmar should be faced inferiorly. Your digits and your pollex should still be clenched towards your palmar region. You should still keep a tight fist. Finally, your lumbar region, or your loins, should be extended in a posterior and inferior direction in the oblique plane. Now that we've gone over the basics of how to do the whip, let's go over some optional details to make it really shine. Ideally, in the pre-whip position, your mental region, or your chin, should be pointed slightly anteriorly, and your oral region, or mouth, should be closed. In the post-whip position, your frontal region, or your forehead, should be pointed anteriorly rather than your mental region. Your oral region, or mouth, should also be exposed for added emphasis. Let's switch once again to the sagittal view to get a better look at our position. The cephalic region, or the head, and the cervical region, the neck, should be aligned in the oblique plane. As said before, the frontal region should be pointed slightly anteriorly.